The harder you try, the more what you want seems to run from you. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? Yet that's a sacred paradox, a simple truth the world has missed for centuries. While you're straining and striving to make something happen, the divine law is whispering gently, "Let go and it will be given." I remember a woman who came to me in despair. She had done everything the outer world prescribes, worked harder, set goals, pushed herself to hit them. The harder she tried, the more exhausted she became, and the farther her desire drifted. In a quiet moment of clarity, I offered her just one instruction: stop trying. Start trusting. Within weeks, something that felt like a miracle unfolded, not from struggle, but from release. We're trained to believe if you try hard enough, you'll get what you want. But as Florence Scovel Shinn taught, when you speak the right word in faith, the universe responds, not when you grind your teeth and wrestle life into submission. The shift happens when you become peaceful, grateful, and certain that what you seek is already provided. True faith doesn't shout. True faith is a quiet, potent stillness. So let me ask you, what if you didn't have to fight for everything you desire? What if the state of not trying is the quickest way for what you're waiting for to find you? Imagine waking each morning not to make it happen, but to allow it. You move through the day with an unexplainable ease in your chest, not doubting but knowing. No more straining to prove yourself, no more tug of war with the future. Only a deep relaxation so magnetic it draws every good thing towards you. That is the art this video invites you to practice, the art of not trying. This isn't avoidance or passivity. It's the courage to release control and return to alignment with the divine. It doesn't make you do less. It makes you act from clarity instead of fear. You no longer sprint in panic, you step forward because you feel called. And if you're wondering, how do I enter that state, you're in the right place. Next, we'll explore how to flow with the law of non-resistance, how to tell the difference between guided action and fear-based hustle, and how to affirm with calm authority, I don't need to force, I allow. You might be thinking, if I stop trying, will anything actually come? That question echoes an old belief, an ancient program running in the background of the human mind, that worth must be proven by sweat, that love must be purchased with sacrifice, that success only arrives when we push ourselves to the brink. But step back for a moment. Look at the most beautiful things that have ever happened to you. How many of them appeared when you weren't expecting them, when you were relaxed, when you finally let go? Maybe you've chased someone with your whole heart only to watch them drift farther away, until one day when you stopped waiting and stopped checking your phone every hour, the message arrived. That's not coincidence. That is the law of alignment at work. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the calm command, the quiet authority of someone who knows they are worthy. Let me share a story. I once worked with a young founder who spent 6 exhausting months trying to raise capital for his dream project. Every call, every email, every meeting carried the same anxious hum. Will they accept me? What if I fail? Then he stopped, not to quit but to release. He took a week to reconnect with himself. He stopped chasing and began to imagine how it would feel if the project were already funded, and he breathed from that knowing. The very next week, an investor he had never even approached reached out after hearing of the idea through a friend. Alignment opened the door. No knocking, just a match. Alignment isn't doing nothing. It is acting from a grounded center, not from fear. When you strain and force, you tell the universe it won't come unless I control it. When you soften, you send a far stronger message. It's already mine by right, and I allow it to arrive. This principle is just as tender and powerful in love. A woman wrote to me after years entangled in a confusing, almost relationship. She kept trying to do more text, more be better, be prettier, be easier. But all of it sprang from the belief, I'm not enough. Then she stopped. She turned inward, tending her soul, clarifying what she truly desired, a relationship with recognition, respect, and peace. Within months, the first man exited, as if released from a role he could never play, and a new man appeared, steady, clear, loving indeed. She didn't strategize him into her life. She aligned her energy and he arrived. Here's the truth. You don't attract what you beg for. You attract what you are. That's why the first move isn't do more, it's tune your inner state. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't cancel effort. It refines it. Let your effort arise from sacred inspiration, not from running away from fear. Like an artist who feels called to create, not to chase the market. Like a physician compelled to heal, not pressured by quotas. When action flows from connection, every step becomes a gentle declaration. I am moving with the current. And you don't have to walk this path alone. Share with us below. What is one moment you realized that letting go, not forcing, brought you the very thing you wanted? By sharing, you're not only connecting with me, you're connecting with thousands of souls on this awakening journey. We are a community learning to live lightly and powerfully. Let's spread this peace together. And if you're still wondering, how do I release without feeling passive? Or how do I tell the difference between inspired action and fear-based hustle? Stay with me. Up next, I'll share the secret of soul-led action, where every step is invisibly supported, and you no longer have to push, you simply allow. Sometimes what keeps us from stepping into the flow of good isn't the world, it's the ego. It doesn't shout, it whispers, it doesn't wreck things outright. It hides under the costume of being responsible, careful, proactive. But don't be fooled. Ego doesn't seek truth, it seeks control, and in the realm of divine law, control delays the miracle. Let me introduce you to Lana, a gifted founder building a healing space through meditation, art, and spiritual therapy. For nearly a year, she felt exhausted and stuck. After a few deep conversations, the pattern surfaced. Ego had its hands on the wheel and she didn't even know it. She wanted everything her way, wrote and rewrote posts, because they were not good enough, delayed her launch, for fear of judgment calling it perfection, when it was really fear wearing the mask of control. Florence would remind us, you don't need to control, you need to align. You don't have to steer every wave. Lower the sail, soften, and let the divine wind carry you. When ego drives, everything tightens. When you're poised, God power moves through you, poise magnetizes. Fear and impatience demagnetize. How do you know when ego's at the wheel? You feel tension, but call it focus. You keep tweaking, yet never feel good enough. You're compelled to do it now, even as panic hums in your chest. You distrust even smooth progress, sure something must be wrong. You're convinced that if you let go, everything will collapse. That's ego in disguise. Your heart knows another way. It's unhurried and quiet. It doesn't demand proof. It simply whispers, what is yours will find you when you relax enough to receive it. Ego doesn't just push you to control others, it makes you clamp down on yourself, your feelings, your rest, your beliefs, as if you're a machine that must never stop. You're not a machine. You're a soul remembering that the good already carries your name. I love the saying ego screams, soul whispers, and here's the add-on: when you listen long enough, you realize the move isn't do more, it's trust more. Often the most powerful move is to stand still and let the way open. Non-resistance is how infinite intelligence works best through you. So pause with me and ask, where is your next action coming from? From a light-inspired nudge, or from fear of being left behind, judged or not enough? If it's fear, breathe. You don't have to answer its call. You can wait, not from laziness, but from holy timing. And I'd love to hear from you. When did you notice ego was driving, and how did you return to trust? Share below. Your story might be the lantern someone else needs tonight. We don't just learn from videos, we learn from each other, and your sharing opens more channels of grace than you can imagine. If this resonates, stay for the next chapter. We'll explore why relaxation, not force, is a spiritual technology for manifestation, and how poised faith turns you into a quiet magnet for every right thing. After all, poise is power. There's a common misunderstanding when I say receive. Many people here do nothing. Receiving is not sitting still and leaving life to fate. Receiving is the soul's soft discipline, a rhythm of breath, readiness, and quiet faith. Passivity or laziness is ignorance, dressed up as peace avoidance, delay, and self-soothing, with spiritual-sounding excuses that only weigh the heart down. Florence reminds us, in the silence of power, the right word opens the door. That silence isn't empty, it's a bright, ordered field that clears a path for good to enter. Think of a farmer receiving isn't staring at the sky. It's preparing the soil, sowing the seed, covering against frost, and then stopping resistance so the rain can do its part. Between doing and allowing, there is always a small release. That release is receiving. So what's the core difference between receiving and passivity? Let your heart feel it instead of letting the mind overanalyze. When you receive, the body softens while your intention is clear. You keep a light plan that honors divine timing, ready to step when the signal arrives. You tidy the room, place flowers on the table, open the window, and smile waiting for the knock. When you're passive, the body slackens, but the mind is foggy. You hide behind the universe will handle it to avoid decisions and fear. The room stays messy, emails unanswered. You call it flow, but you're actually standing outside the stream. Receiving is an open welcome. Passivity is a quiet escape. Receiving says, I am ready. Passivity whispers, I am afraid. Receiving empties resistance. Passivity stockpiles delay. Receiving lets the miracle take over. Passivity lets fear take the wheel. Let's make it vivid in 3 everyday arenas. Business. Receiving looks like clarifying your core value, tightening the offer, sending the right invitation, then not obsessing over the inbox. You invest in product quality, build sincere connections, and keep margin in your schedule, so a surprise call can actually be received. When the signal comes, an email reply, a warm intro, you respond quickly, but not frantically clearly, but without push. Passivity is saying, I'm manifesting, while never finishing the deck, never pressing send, never accepting the meeting. You call it waiting for the right time, but you're really waiting for fear to pass. Love. Receiving means you cultivate in yourself what you wish to be given respect, kindness, listening. Your heart is open and your eyes are clear. You hold boundaries. You don't overperform to be loved, and you don't rescue someone from their lesson. When alignment appears, you answer from peace, not from lack. Passivity is using letting go to stay in an ambiguous, almost relationship with no dialogue, no choice accepting crumbs and calling it fate. That isn't faith, it's fear of being alone. Health. Receiving is timely. Rest, nourishing food routine checkups, and then stopping the drip of anxiety into the body. You trust what's meant to heal will heal, and you co-create through simple, steady habits. Passivity is neglect hiding behind. I'm surrendering to avoid movement, to ignore the body's signals, hoping for a miracle while refusing the body's support. Place a hand over your heart and ask, am I welcoming or avoiding? If your answer makes you wilt, don't blame yourself. Take it as a bell of awakening, because receiving begins with the courage to face where you've been refusing love. A founder I coached spent years sprinting. When he learned to receive, our first move wasn't a bigger plan, it was clearing space. 3 mornings a week, no meetings. Quiet hours to review intention, value, and appointments with intuition. The result was odd, but obvious: fewer meetings, higher quality. Close rates rose because he answered only the right calls. Money still came, more of it, but not paid for with blood and worry. Why? Because when you are still, your frequency speaks for you. Receiving rests on 3 capacities. Emptying clear space, calendar, and heart, so the new has a home. Naming call in what you invite, specifically and cleanly. Answering when the signal comes. Act simply and promptly. A timely email. A confirming call, a steady hand. No theatrics, no pushing, just presence. Remember, receiving doesn't fight reality. It tunes your frequency, so reality reflects it. When you know, your body and mind become a living prayer. You don't need to shout. You speak the right word and stay quiet enough to hear the door open. If you're torn between resting in and resigning to try the Shinn test after you choose not to act right now, how does your energy feel? Lighter, brighter, wider, that's receiving. Heavier, hazy, anxious, that's delay. Soul doesn't guide through murk, soul guides through lucid peace. Here's an affirmation to anchor your signal. I release control and let the miracle take over. I open to receive what is mine on time in the right way, under grace and in perfect ways. Whisper it at waking when you shut the laptop, or any time you steer from panic to peace. Each time you speak it, reality takes shape. Now, step into the circle below and write, one thing I'm actively making room to receive is, if you're willing, add, one sign I just noticed that I'm delaying not receiving is, when you speak it, you lay a stone on your own path. When someone reads it, your stone becomes their lamp. Before we close, let me place my hand in yours and say what Florence would surely smile at. You don't beg, you receive. You don't plead, you know. You don't force, you allow. That tiny shift changes the wind. When the wind changes, your sail doesn't need to be bigger, just in tune. In the next part, we'll move into step-by-step practice, disciplined relaxation making room, naming the new self, and answering signals with gentle precision, simple morning, midday, and bedtime rituals, so every 24 hours becomes an appointment with the miraculous. The way is cleared, the door is ajar, and your name is already on the package. All that remains is to open and receive. Some things are only beautiful when they arrive on time. A song played one beat early is jarring. A flower forced to bloom will wilt. A seed yanked up to check the roots will die. Divine timing is not the universe stalling you. It's the quiet breath of an unseen intelligence arranging space so the best can actually land. When you catch this rhythm, panic loosens its grip. You know when to move and when to pause, yet you're still moving forward. Florence never taught sit back and do nothing. She taught poise, stand still in power, listen for the signal, then step in sync. Divine timing isn't a wall clock. It's the soul's temperature. When the dough is warm enough, it rises. When it's still cold, give it time to proof. How do you know if it's time to act? Imagine the universe using an inner traffic light. Green, go with grace. Suddenly you're unusually clear. The words find you. The one call you need to make shows up like a proper noun. Your body opens, warm chest, relaxed shoulders, deeper breath. Coincidences cluster the right person to texts. The resource appears. You feel peacefully productive, no manic urgency, no slump, just bright, tidy momentum. Yellow. Wait with wisdom. You want to act because you're afraid to miss out, not because it's truly time. The mind says it's fine, but the body tightens, hot hands, stiff neck, racing pulse. Early steps go well, then the door sticks at the hinge. A key piece isn't clear, goal fuzzy conditions, messy deal terms, unsettled. Red no for now. Effort creates counterforce. Emails vanish. Meetings keep sliding. Small mishaps chain together. Energy drains even when you follow the process. Intuition says not yet while ego barks right now. You'd have to trade a core value for speed, peace for a vague promise. Red isn't never. It's not now. Seasons deserve respect, so tend harvest and let the soil rest. The impatient call fallow time delay. The wise call it regeneration. Let's make this real with 3 everyday stories. 1. One business. The yes that arrived on time. Ethan runs a software startup. For a quarter, he chased an enterprise deal. Meetings, proposals, demos, check. But legal kept snagging. Instead of forcing the timeline, he reset the foundation, refined the package, rewrote the contract to mirror true value, and spent 2 weeks crafting a solid case study. In week 3, the partner restarted talks now with a newly appointed CTO who'd been a past customer. Terms clicked, as if pre-discussed. The green light didn't appear because he did more. It appeared because he moved in rhythm and in mission. 2. Love. The door opens when the heart does. After leaving an ambiguous, almost relationship, Maya vowed not to date for now. She gave herself 40 days to clear her heart, journaling boundary work, practicing truth kindly. Invitations poured in, mostly yellow lights, attractive yet unclear. She held out for a clean yes. In week 6, at a workshop, she met Daniel. No fireworks, no drama, just steady clarity. Important topics surfaced naturally in the first conversation. When the light is green, you don't floor it, you simply release the brake. 3. Health rest is a form of action. Coming off burnout. Lila tried to bounce back heavy workouts, strict diet work makeups. Her body flashed red: inflammation, insomnia, mood swings. She pivoted to intentional recovery, sleep priority, sunrise walks, warm meals, no caffeine, 10-minute noon meditation, strength training, only after 5 consecutive good sleep nights. 2 weeks later, yellow turned green, steadier heart rate, genuine desire to move energy returns. Turns out timely rest is a decisive action. To practice divine timing daily, use the 4P framework: pause, presence pattern, proceed. Pause. Before big decisions, take 3 deep breaths, hand over heart. 60 seconds to switch from ego radio to soul signal. Presence. Ask, if this were already mine, how would I step? Let the body answer opening or closing, warm or cold, pattern. Scan the field. Are helpful overlaps showing up or headwinds everywhere? Would acting require you to bend a core value? Proceed. If green, move cleanly. If yellow, take a micro step to test the water. If red, strengthen the foundation, learn, adjust, heal, and wait in peace. One small rule that saves you from spiral decisions. Never make a big choice in a contracted state. Honor the body's wisdom: contraction, ears wait, expansion or go. The soul speaks in sensation before it speaks in words. Create sacred time blocks in your day. Morning, 10 minutes, breathe. Right. No. 3 deep breaths. 3 affirmations. 1 clarity, sentence for today. Midday, chapter under 7 minutes, a conscious gap. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders. Ask green, yellow, or red right now. Evening, gratitude review. Note 3 signs. The universe arranged something for you today. Add 1 thing you will not force tomorrow. Quick checks to separate a sacred signal from fear's bait. If you miss this opportunity, do you lose yourself? If not, it may be a yellow test. To act now, would you need to bend the truth? If so, that's red. If you wait 3 days, is the choice still true or truer? If yes, ripening may be in progress. Remember, waiting isn't passivity. In divine timing, waiting is respect for ripeness. You are acting when you clear space, tune your frequency, guard your peace, protect your values, and practice micro-steps. You're not retreating, you're building runway. Affirmation, anchor. I move when peace calls. I pause when wisdom invites. Everything arrives on time in the right way with my name on it, under grace and in perfect ways. Your turn, let the community feel your signal. What decision are you weighing this week? And is your light green, yellow, or red? What coincidence just visited you that felt right on time? Share below. Your story might be the beacon for someone standing at a yellow-red crossroads tonight. Before we close, hold this image when the wind is right. Even a small boat sets out to sea. You don't need a storm of hype, you need a clean wind. Divine timing is the invisible helmsman. Your job is to raise the sail at the right moment. Next, we'll get practical, a compact toolkit for reading sacred timing, designing rest rhythm weeks, writing soul commitments instead of pressure lists, and answering signals with small moves that build big momentum. When you live on beat good, can't help but find you. If the whole journey so far has been learning to release trust and read sacred timing, then this step is the heart of the miracle. Don't ask, become. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Becoming isn't pretending, and it isn't self-deception. It's an energetic relocation from the room of lack to the room of sufficiency in your thoughts, words, feelings, gestures, and daily rhythm. Let's start with abundance. A person rooted in abundance doesn't need labels or flexing. They make decisions from generosity, not fear. Swap scarcity talk. I can't afford that for language of priority and order. I'll prioritize this after I complete X. Keep small, steady practices. Tidy wallet and accounts. Know your cash flow. Invest consistently in learning and give a set amount regularly, not from superstition, but because abundance is a current that must keep moving. And when opportunity comes, receive it with cadence and clarity. Thank you. I receive this and will reply by the signature of a good steward. Noah used to see himself as the struggler. He began to become by making 3 small shifts over 30 days. Each morning he declared, I am a wise steward. Money comes under grace and in perfect ways. Each night he wrote 3 lines of gratitude for value he created, not just money. Each week he made 1 nurture the network call, no agenda, just to offer value. By month 2, a warm referral closed. By month 3, his salary grew. The universe didn't suddenly play favorites. Noah's identity changed. Now peace. Peaceful people aren't idle. They work from a different frequency. They say, I'll reply in 2 hours, instead of firing off answers while their heart races. They honor the right tempo, not the crowd's urgency. Micro rituals help 3 minutes of breathing before a meeting, a 10-minute no-phone walk, and 1 closing affirmation when you shut the laptop. Work rests here. Peace comes with me. They also defend room in the calendar. Empty space is not waste. It's a charger for your frequency. Serena, an overfired project manager, began to become peaceful with a 3-step loop: pause, pray, proceed. Before hard emails, she paused for 60 seconds and whispered, I choose healing words. In 2 weeks, her tone shifted. In 2 months, the team reported easier to collaborate. Deadlines still met. Nobody burned out. Peace doesn't slow you down. Peace clarifies you. Mature love. When you become love, you don't demand others prove themselves. You prove it by treating yourself well. The language sounds like I desire a clear connection. If you're not ready, I honor that and will step back. The gestures reply when open, not when anxious. Suggest times and place and be willing to hear a no. Boundaries don't chase mixed signals. People who've become don't choose hints, they choose commitments. June was stuck in an ambiguous almost. She wrote a personal covenant. 1. I speak my needs and limits truthfully. 2. I don't try to mind read, I ask. 3. If answers are evasive, I step out in peace. 3 months later, she met Kai. No fireworks, just clarity. New identity, new kind of love. Vibrant health. Becoming healthy isn't about doing the most. It's about living with rhythm. Switch your inner language to, my body is an ally. Practice soft discipline. Treat sleep as a sacred appointment, morning sunlight as soul vitamin, warm water as a daily rite. 10 minutes of movement a day beats 0 minutes a week. Every small choice is a vote for your new identity. Marco often felt drained. He became healthy with the 3-2-1 reset stop caffeine after 3 p.m. Screens off 2 hours before sleep. 1 landing ritual, warm shower, plus 4-7-8 breathing. After 1 month, his morning energy noticeably improved. He didn't beg for health, he lived as a healthy man. How do I do this systematically? Use the 5C map. Character. Write a vivid sketch of who you're becoming. Abundant, peaceful, loving, creative. Describe them like a friend. Confession. Forge identity. Keywords. I am a wise steward. I am peaceful. I love truthfully. Speak softly in the mirror. Believe enough for today. Cycle tie identity to a daily rhythm. Morning affirm. Plus 5 minute. Visualize midday. 1 micro action evening to note. 3 small proofs you lived your identity. Credit reward yourself. A small treat. Flowers, a slow coffee. Your body needs reward signals to anchor habit. Community is say it out loud with others so energies resonate. When 2 or 3 declare together, the field strengthens. What if I don't fully believe yet? Big faith is distilled from many small beliefs. You don't have to leap from 0 to 100. Tilt the needle 1 degree today toward the new identity 1 more degree tomorrow. Great roads are paved with tiny choices. Here's a compact 7-day becoming practice. Day 1. Name it. Write 5 I am becoming. Lines abundant, peaceful, loving, creative, healthy. Day 2. Edit language. Cross out 5 scarcity phrases. Replace with 5 of priority and order. Day 3. Clear space. 1 drawer, desk, wallet, tidy as invitation. Day 4. Micro action. Send a thank you, a collaboration ask, or book an important date from peace. Day 5. Frequency nutrition. Sleep enough. 10 minutes of morning sun warm water plus short walk. Day 6. Give. Share a resource/insight connection with no expectation. Day 7. Evidence. Write 7 signs, even tiny, that roots of the new identity have taken. Keep a subtle Shinn compass. True identity feels light, warm, clear. Performance feels heavy, cold, foggy. Each night ask, am I lighter or heavier today? If heavier tomorrow, subtract 1 performative action and add 1 identity true action. Community moment, drop a line below. My identity, I am becoming, is. Today I will prove it with 1 small act. If you like, add a short, breathable affirmation of your own. Before we close, take this whisper in your palm. You don't wait for evidence to become. You become so evidence can find you. When you live as one who already has the law arranges for already to become already seen. By now you've probably felt it. What you're seeking doesn't need to be made to happen. It needs to be allowed to happen. When you stop trying to prove and start trusting, life changes its tone. Doors don't fly open because you push harder. They open because you're standing in the right spot, speaking the right word, stepping in the right rhythm. That's the spirit of Florence Scovel Shinn. Precise words, a poised heart, clean action, and the law arranges the rest. Look back on the road we've walked together. You practice moving from strain to alignment, spotting ego and releasing control, receiving, instead of going passive, honoring divine timing, and finally becoming the person who can hold what you invite. From here, you don't have to ask, when will it arrive? You only ask, today am I living as the one who already has it? Take the 60-second daily ritual with you. Breathe deeply 3 times, hand over heart, and whisper, I release control and let the miracle take over. Then make a gentle identity claim, I am a peaceful receiver. Finish with 1 micro step from peace, a thank you email, a clear phone call, a warm glass of water before you begin. In 1 minute, you've tuned your frequency and given the universe a specific door to walk through. If you want a stronger anchor, keep this near you on your screen, in your wallet, by your bed. I don't beg, I receive. I don't force, I allow. I move when peace calls. Every time you read it, your inner compass quietly clicks back to true north. Now it's your turn. Add your voice in the comments so our circle can grow brighter. What's one thing you're actively making room for to receive? Is your signal today green, yellow, or red, and why? What identity anchoring affirmation will you use this week? Write it down. Speaking, it is a kind promise to yourself and a lantern for someone walking behind you. If this video touched you, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next chapters in our series, The Art of Not Trying. A like or a share with a friend who needs peace is a beautiful boomerang. And as Florence reminds us, what you send out returns in the best possible way. As we close, carry this one feeling: every good thing already bears your name. You don't have to chase it, just align to meet it. Step out of this video as one who already has speak with clarity. Keep your rhythm of peace. Take 1 timely micro step. Then watch how the door you couldn't pry open softly swings, like it had been waiting for this version of you to knock. See you in the next video, where we'll keep training a miracle rhythm with simple morning, midday, and evening practices. For now, let this line whisper until it becomes a habit. I am the gentle receiver of all that is good, and that is enough.